Tattvanusandhanam Pravachan bibrate tasmai bhashyakate namostu satatam purnaya bodhatmane. Brahmaham yat prasadena mai vishwam prakalpitam Shrimat Swayam Prakashakyam Pranomi Jagatam Guru Yah Paramatma Jagat Srishtva Pravivesha Gunaswayam Tam Krishnam Pratyagatmanam Vande Gopi Manogaram Yasya Prasadadahamadvayatma Vishwam Samastam Mayi Kalpitacha Tan Sarvalokaika Gurum Sadashri Swayam Prakasham Gurumanatosmi Gurunam Charanam Bhojam Pranipatya Nirantaram Tatkripa Leshato Dvaita Chinta Kaustugmarabhe Om. So after a long deliberation on what exactly can be defined as Pratyaksha Brahma, the Siddhanti concludes that on verification of the definitions provided by the Nayayikas, etc., we have found that the definition of Pratyaksha Brahma as Vishaya Chaitanya Bhinnam, Pramana Chaitanya, to be the most flawless definition. And so, now, having said so, in page 171 in the PDF and 137 in the physical copy. Having said so, he gives a distilled definition of the same thing, meaning Pramana Chaitanya Bhinna or Vishaya Chaitanya Bhinna Pramana Chaitanya. He says this will be its refined version. Athava abadhita parokshartha vishaya jnanam pratyaksha brahma. How knowledge of that object which is abadhita and also aparoksha. That aparoksha means now it is showing the yogyatvam. It is showing yogyatvam. So abadhita aparokshartha vishaya knowledge of that an object which is abadhita as well as at the same time should be aparoksha. Okay, is called as Pratyaksha Brahma. Okay, now Brahma Vishayasya Bhatitatva Nativyapti. Brahma Jnanam is also there. Brahma Pratyaksha is also there. Yet this definition is able to save itself from overspilling into the Brahma Jnanam, Brahma Pratyaksha. Okay. And the objects, Ghatapata, the object, can be known. But he says that will that also not go into Brahma? Not because it will not go, because samsara dashayam abhajitatvanaativyaptihi. So now that is clear. Now abhajita aparoksha vishaya jnanam. Why, when can you call something as an object of knowledge? Now, look at this. This is also very important, that we have something as an object of knowledge, something as an object of ignorance, something as an object of desire. You see, you simply do not say that I have a desire. Well, sir, what is it that you desire? Meaning, there has to be an object of desire. I desire a car. I desire to get married. I desire to go to another city, so on and so forth. There can be. So these are all various objects of desire. Similarly, there is, oh, I have ignorance. What do you mean by you have ignorance? Ignorance of what? Well, I do not know what is pot. I do not know what is God. I do not know what is so on and so forth. So you require to have the object. Now, when you are going to say the object of knowledge or object of your awareness, then what exactly is this Vishayatvam? This is becoming an object, means Vishayatvam. What exactly is that? So Vishayasya, and what is the Vishayasya aparokshatvam? What do you mean by something is directly known? Vishayatvam, we understand that it becomes the object of knowledge. But object of knowledge which is directly known, what is the direct knowing of that object, about that object? So here, Vishayasya aparokshatvam nama, that Vishayasya aparokshatvam nama. Tasya aparokshatvam Vishayasya. Are we discussing the aparokshatvam of Atma over here? No. So we are discussing Vishayasya aparokshatvam. Got it? This is one important thing. Vishayasya aparokshatvam. Vishayasya aparokshatvam nama sakshitadatmyam. It is the identification with the sakshi. Now, can somebody please tell me what is tadatmyam? We have done this before.
Bhinnatve sati abhinatvam.
Bhinnatve
Veda sahisno. Yes.
Abhedaha. Correct. So sakshitadatmyam. Vishayasya aparokshatvam nama sakshitadatmyam, where it becomes, though it is different, yet it becomes, it also at the same time is non-different from sakshi. So this is called as the aparoksha jnanam, aparokshatvam. Tatha na anyonyashraya. We are not talking about aparoksha jnanam. What is the aparokshatvam in knowledge? What is it that is getting discussed? What is that element in the knowledge which qualifies the knowledge to be called as aparoksha? Aparoksha. Or what is it that qualifies an object to be said as to be directly known. Aparokshatvam. Vishayasya aparokshatvam, not jnanasya aparokshatvam. So Vishayasya aparokshatvam nama sakshitadatmyam. Tatha na anyonyashrayah. Okay. And so there will not be, this needs to be thought about. Tatha na anyonyashrayah. Further, Vishayatvam nama. Now that Vishaya, which you are saying is aparoksha. The aparokshatva is what we have understood. But what exactly do you mean by Vishaya? So that Vishaya will have Vishayatvam. And so what is it that we want to define? Vishayatvam. Because Ghata is also Vishaya, Pata is also Vishaya, Matha is also Vishaya. If you say Vishaya means Ghata, then you will not include Pata and Matha. But we have everything of these, they are all Vishayas. So we want something that is common in Vishaya, and that will be in every Vishaya. What will there be? Vishayatvam. And so we are defining what is Vishayatvam. Vishayatvam nama swakara samarpakatvam, which means that which is able to give its own form. Swakara samarpakatvam. Swasya akara samarpakatvam is able to give its own form, lend its own form. Okay, like when you say Ghatakara vritti, so now the vritti is able to assume the form of the Ghata. Now, just don't think about the form meaning. It has to be something that is perceived through the Chakshurindriya. Even when the vritti goes through the Shravanendriya, it takes the shape of the Shabda. So that is what is Swakara Samarpakatvam. When you touch a hot pan, the sensation of getting burnt, the sensation of, that is also the heat has given its own form. Okay. So Vishayatvam nama jnane swakara samarpakatvam. And where is the form given? Where? So knowledge takes the shape of that object. So where otherwise, how will you say that it is Vishaya? Why aren't you saying that the Shabda cannot become the Vishaya of the Chakshu? Why? Because the Shabda does not offer its form to the knowledge that comes through the Chakshurindriya. So Jnane Swakara Samarpakatvam is called as Vishayatvam. These are all definitions. Please keep noting one after another. Maybe at the end of the book, we will have these definitions all, alphabetically ordered. So Vishayatvam nama jnane swakara samarpakatvam. Vishayitvam. So if there is a Vishaya, there has to be a Vishayi, the one who now sees or knows. Okay, who takes the onus. So Vishayitvam nama tad avabhasakatvam. Vishayitvam nama tad avabhasakatvam. Tad matlab Vishaya avabhasakatvam. क्या है?
Yes, Swamiji, Vishaya avabhasakatvam. That means Vishaya.
Vishaya avabhasakatvam. Nanu vrittidhabodhasya pramattvena akhanda chaitanyasya swaprakashatvena tad bhasyatva bhasyatva bhavat jnana jnayayoho katham vishaya vishayi bhava iti ched. He says, vrittidhabodhasya. What do you mean by vrittidhabodha? What is vrittidhabodha?
The thought mind by Buddha.
No,
Prama.
that is
Prama.
bodhedha vritti.
Okay, the reflection
That
of
is bodhedha vritti. But you have also chosen to define vritti as
Vritti pratibimbita chid.
vrittidhabodha means vritti pratibimbita chaitanyam. Acha. Now, when you say vritti pratibimbita chaitanyam, he has a problem. He says, well, sir, the pot, etc., can get reflected in the, or the pot, etc., the form of the pot, etc., can be assumed by the vritti. But can the vritti similarly assume the form of the bodha? Can it? So, nanu vrittidha bodhasya pramatvena akhanda chaitanyasya swaprakashatvena. Now, this akhanda chaitanyam, which you want to know, that brahmakara vritti, how is this chaitanyam? It is akhandam. And chaitanyam by its own nature is swaprakasha. Tasya tad bhasyatva bhavat. Now, this vritti is not required to illumine the chaitanyam. Vritti is not required to illumine the chaitanyam. Why? Because this chaitanyam is swaprakash. So therefore, now there is jnana jnayayoho. So how can there be this relationship of vishaya vishayi when it comes to knowledge and the object of knowledge, and the object of knowledge when it comes to Brahman? Katham vishaya vishayi bhava iti ched. Now he says, no, sir. So he says there cannot be. And so the Siddhanti says, yes, it is possible. No. Bodhedha vrittireva. Bodhedha vrittireva pramatva bhyupagamena akhanda chaitanyasya tad vishayataya vishaya vishayi bhavopapatte. We have therefore said whether it is bodhedha vritti or vrittidha bodha. Yet, in the other case, vrittidha bodha, bodhedha vritti, that vritti which is illumined by the bodha. So now this vritti, is that vritti not becoming the object of the bodha, that the bodha knowledge or the consciousness that is illumining the vritti? Yes, it does. So pramatva, vrittireva pramatva bhyupagamena akhanda chaitanyasya tad vishayataya Vishaya Vishayi Bhavo Bhavattehe. Okay. Athava Vishayatvam Nama Vyangyatvam. Now he goes because he is not satisfied with that explanation or the justification given. Athava Vishayatvam Nama Vyangyatvam. What is Vishayatvam? Vyangyatvam. What do you mean? Vyangyatvam? Vyangya means to express. Okay. Athva Vyangyatvam. So something that is capable of expressing. Something that is capable of expressing. So that is called as, so it, because it expresses, you are able to know, see. So it is, that's why it becomes an object of knowledge. So Vishayatvam means Vyangyatvam, the capacity to express. Vyangyatvam. Then what is Vishayitvam? Vyanjakatvam. That which Vyanjaka now allows the expression or illumines. Over here, Vyanjakatvam means illumination. So that which illumines. So Vishaya Nishtha Avarana Nivartakatvam iti yavat. So Vishayitvam Nama Vishaya Nishtha Avarana Nivartakatvam. That is Vyanjakatvam. So there is an avaranam. There is some sort of a concealment on or about the object. Because that object is covered under some concealment, you do not know. So this is what you say, I don't know. I don't know. So obviously there is something which is preventing you from knowing. Like if there is a cloth on something, that you know that it is there, something is there, but I don't know what it is. So that exactly like that, something remains covered. So Vishayanishtha Avarana Nivartakatvam, that it removes this avaranam. And you remember that avaranam is also of two types. A Sattva Padaka avaranam and a Bhana Padaka avaranam. We have done this before. So what is called as Vishayitvam? Vyanjakatvam. What is Vyanjakatvam? Vishaya Nishtha Avarana Nivartakatvam. So Vishayitvam equals to Vyanjakatvam. Vyanjakatvam equals to Vishaya Nishtha Avarana Nivartakatvam. Tatascha Brahma Aikya Pramayaha Akhanda Chaitanya Nishtha Avarana Nivartakatvad Vishaibhava Upapadyate. Now look at that. His question was, how can there be this Vishaibhava when it comes to Jnana and Jnaya? Okay. Of Akhanda Chaitanyam. So obviously he is discussing Brahmakara Vritti. So he says Brahmaikya Pramaya. Now this Brahma, which is generated by the Vakya Pramanam, Shabda Pramanam, Vakya Pramanam. What is that? Tattvanusandhanam. So Aikya Pramaya Akhanda Chaitanya Nishtha. Now this consciousness, which is unbroken, undivided consciousness, you do not know. Presently the consciousness appears to be divided. Presently, how does this consciousness appears? As divided, as the Pramata, Prameya, Prama, conditioned by all these things, the consciousness appears divided. So we are saying, no, the consciousness is one. These are the upadhis. So, and when the upadhis have no longer, the reality of dividing the consciousness now is seen, known to be akhanda, is seen akhandam. So akhanda chaitanya nishtha avarana nivartakatva. Avarana nivartakatva. Now, because one did not know this is the nature of consciousness, this is the nature of awareness, that it is akhandam. So obviously not knowing means that it is under the veil of concealment. If it is under the veil of concealment, then what happens? This Brahmatmaikya Prama is able to remove this concealment, and therefore avarana akhanda chaitanya nishtha avarana nivartakatvad vishaya vishayi bhavaha upapadyate. It is possible, and therefore our definition of the pratyaksha prama still becomes applicable even when it comes to the pratyaksha knowledge that aham Brahma. So pratyaksha knowledge just does not mean something that is illumined only by the indriyas. Remember, indriyatvena, indriyajanyam jnanam, etc. is not what we call as pratyaksha jnanam. What is pratyaksha jnanam? Vishaya chaitanya bhinna pramana chaitanyam. Okay. Yadva adhyastatvam vishayatvam chitvam vishayatvam. So he says that otherwise also understand it this way, that what is superimposed, so adhyastatvam. So adhyasa has got adhyastatvam, the quality of being superimposed, the quality of superimposition, superimpositionness. So we have adhyastatvam is vishayatvam. That what is superimposed is vishaya. This is a better, I mean, not better, but it's a good definition too. Vishayatvam. What is vishayatvam? Adhyastatvam. And the consciousness is the vishayi, the illuminator. Okay. What is finally illumined? That what is not I. Hey, that what is not I is illumined means that what is not I, that what is anatma. What is the status of this anatma? Superimposition. And therefore, what is it? So what is finally vishayatvam? Adhyastatvam. And what is vishayatvam? Vishayitvam. It is chitvam. Tatascha ajnanadi samastam jagat vishayaha chidatma vrityarudho vishayi iti. And so this chidatma, which is now riding on the, it is mounted on the vritti, is vishayi. Shuddha Chaitanya cannot even become vishayi because there is no vishaya. And so chidatma is vishayi. But when can chidatma be called as vishayi? Vrityarudha, the one which is mounted on the vritti. Okay, so therefore the entire world, including the ajnanam, is vishaya. The entire range of anatma padartha is vishaya, and atma is vishayi. But when can this atma, chidatma be vishayi? When reflected or is mounted, expressing through the vritti. Chaitanya bhede jnate vishaya chaitanya bhinna pramana chaitanyam pratyaksha prama iti jnatum shakya. Shakyam. Now, only if one understands what are these divisions of consciousness, how is the consciousness divided now, where you have said Vishaya Chaitanya, and then you have also said Pramana Chaitanyam, and the oneness of Vishaya Chaitanya and Pramana Chaitanyam becomes your direct experience. That what is direct experience. In fact, experience means that what is directly known. So it is direct knowledge is called as an experience, because you do not say that it is my, there is fire in the mountain is my experience. You will say it is my knowledge, but you will not say it is my experience. So when will it be called as experience? When the knowledge, when it is direct knowledge, it is called as an experience. Okay, so this is pratyaksha prama, the direct knowledge or experience. So over here we have Vishaya Chaitanya Bhinna, Pramana Chaitanyam is called as direct knowledge or experience. So you can understand that Pramana Chaitanya and the Vishaya Chaitanya becoming one. But sir, we need to understand what are the divisions that there are there on the Chaitanyam in order to understand even how it becomes one and why is it called as one. Okay, so Chaitanya Bhede Shnate, only in knowing the different consciousness is one, but why is it becoming different or many is because of the upadhi. At different times there are going to be different upadhis. Okay, so Chaitanya Bhede Shnate Vishaya Chaitanya Bhinna Pramana Chaitanyam Pratyaksham Prama iti jnatum shakyam iti upadhi bheda tattad bhedam vyutpadayati. Now, due to the differences in the conditionings, okay, what is different? The conditionings or the conditions are different. Upadhis are different. So upadhi bheda tattad bhedam vyutpadayati. And doing the ashraya of the upadhi bheda, the Chaitanya appears different, and therefore now we are going to show you the different consciousnesses based on the differences of the upadhi. Upadhi bheda tattad bhedam vyutpadayati ekam iti. Okay, where do you find this ekam? On page number, we have come long way.
Swamiji 134. Last line.
134 in the physical copy, no?
Yes.
Okay. No. 134 on 168 page. Okay. Tathahi ekameva chaitanyam upadhi bheda chaturvidham. How has the consciousness become fourfold or four types? Chaturvidha means the vidha is four. Chaturvidham. Pramaha upadhi bheda, because of the differences in conditionings. Pramatra Chaitanyam, Pramana Chaitanyam, Vishaya Chaitanyam, Phala Chaitanyam cha iti. Remember this because we are going to see the definitions of all. Pramatra Chaitanyam, Pramana Chaitanyam, Vishaya Chaitanyam, Phala cha iti. ठीक है?
Ji Swamiji.
Yes, sir.
Now look at this. There is Pramata. Okay, there is Pramata, the knower. what will the knower have? The apparatus of knowing. Pramanam. What is he equipped with? Pramanam. And that is the reason why he is called as Pramata. So Pramatru Chaitanyam, then Pramana Chaitanyam. So there is Pramata, there is Pramana. Correct? Then there is the object of the knowledge, Prameya, which we are going to call as Vishaya Chaitanyam over here. And then the knowledge of that object. Okay, so Prama. So over here it is called as Phalam. So now you see Pramatru Chaitanyam with the Upadhi of Pramata, Chaitanyam is Pramatru Chaitanyam. With the Upadhi of Pramanam, he is called as the consciousness. He means the consciousness is now Pramana Chaitanyam. With the Upadhi of Vishaya or the Prameya, it is the consciousness is called as Vishaya Chaitanyam. And finally, when you now know that this is the knowledge of that part, so with that, it is Phala Chaitanyam. So now remember, it is easy to remember Pramatru Chaitanyam, Pramana Chaitanyam. But instead of calling it as the Prameya, we have chosen to call it as Vishaya. Why? Because unless and until it is known, it will not become Prameya. Till then, it has the capacity to become known. And that's why it is Vishaya. Because it is Vyangya. And that's why it is Vishaya. It can be known, but it is still not known. So in the process, it will be known, but when it will be known, it will become Prameya. Till then, it will be what? Vishaya. After that also it is Vishaya. But it is Pramita Vishaya. That's why it will be known after that. Till then, we are going to call it as Vishaya Chaitanyam.
Swamiji,
Hmm.
this veil or this concealment,
थोड़ा सा
which
जोर से
is
बोलना पड़ेगा. You'll have to pull your mic closer to you. बोलो क्या है?
Swamiji, this veil or the concealment which is on the Vishaya, is it Atindriya? Because we cannot see that, or we...
Of course. See, tell me, does the ignorance have smell or roop or shabda, anything?
No.
So it is obviously not the Vishaya of Indriya, and that's why it is beyond Indriya.
So, Swamiji, is there any pramanam which can say that there is this kind of concealment?
Your own experience.
Okay. Yes, we feel it that we don't
Your
know.
own experience becomes the pramanam in this case. And therefore, ignorance is not something that is detected by the Indriyas, but ignorance is illumined by the Sakshi. Remember. So it is Sakshi Bhasyam. Correct?
Ji, Swamiji.
And therefore, even the snake, etc., that Rajju Sarpa is also Sakshi Bhasyam.
Right. Avidya Karyam and Sakshi Bhashya.
Correct. Evam Chaitanya Bhedam Vyutpadya. Thus, having shown that the consciousness appears as this four due to the four conditionings. Evam chaitanya bhedam vyatpadya pramana chaitanyasya vishaya chaitanya bhedam vyatpadayati tatreti. Now, in these, thus when you have these four chaitanyas, what are the Pramatra Chaitanyam, then Pramana Chaitanyam, Vishaya Chaitanyam, and Phala Chaitanyam. Out of these, we have the Pramana Chaitanyam and Vishaya Chaitanyam. When Pramana Chaitanyam and Vishaya Chaitanyam become one, this is called as Pratyaksha Prama, as experience. We are not saying that the Vishaya and the Pramana becomes one. What becomes one?
The Chaitanya behind both of them.
Chaitanyam becomes one, remember this. Your eyes don't become, or the Chakshurindriya does not become Ghatapata, etc. Remember this. Evam Chaitanya Bhedam Vyatpadya Pramana Chaitanyasya. And can this Chaitanyam become one or not? Chaitanyam is already one.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes, Swami.
Evam Chaitanya Bhedam Vyatpadya Pramana Chaitanyasya Vishaya Chaitanya Bhedam Vyatpadayati Tatreti. Where is Tatra? On this page itself. On the top, in the Mula Grantha. Tatra Antakarana Vishishta Chaitanyam Pramatra Chaitanyam. Then Antakarana Vrityavachinna Chaitanyam Pramana Chaitanyam. Ghatadhyavachinna Chaitanyam Vishaya Chaitanyam. Antakarana Vritti Abhivyakta Chaitanyam Phala Chaitanyam. Now this is going to be interesting. Now look at that. Phala Chaitanyam and Pramana Chaitanyam. In both
Yes,
the cases. क्या है?
Antakarana is there.
In one, it is Avachinna Chaitanya. And the other one is.
From there, even go to the Pramatra Chaitanyam, Antakarana Vishishta Chaitanyam. Remember these definitions. Antakarana Vishishta Chaitanyam, Pramatra Chaitanyam. Then Antakarana Vrityavachinna Chaitanyam. There is Antakaranam and there is Antakarana Vritti. Vritti is not entire Antakaranam, right?
Ji.
Yes.
Vritti is just one modification of that Antakaranam. One wave is not the entire ocean. So Antakaranam is in the place of the ocean, but one wave is in the place of the Vritti. So Antakarana Vachinna Chaitanyam. Chalo. Vishishta Chaitanyam bhi dekh lenge. Antakarana Vachinna Chaitanyam Pramatra Chaitanyam. Antakarana Vritya Vachinna Chaitanyam Pramana Chaitanyam. Ghatadya Vachinna Chaitanyam
Vishaya Chaitanya.
Vishaya Chaitanyam. Then what is Phala Chaitanyam?
Antakarana Vritti Abhivyakta Chaitanya.
Vritti Abhivyakta Chaitanya.
So now you have to see that Antakarana Avachinna Chaitanyam and Antakarana Abhivyakta Chaitanyam. What is the antar? What is the difference? Okay, we will see this Right. We will see this when we meet tomorrow morning. So presently, this is what we have seen. What did we see today? What is the definition of, what is the definition?
Pratyaksha.
No, we have seen Pratyaksha Prama. Abadita Aparokshartha Vishaya Jnanam is called as Pratyaksha Prama. Then we have seen what exactly do you mean by Aparokshatvam of Vishaya, Sakshitadatmyam. Then what is meant by Vishayatvam? Jnane Swakara Samarpakatvam. What is Vishayitvam? Tad Avabhasakatvam. Matlab Vishaya Avabhasakatvam. Okay. And then now he is saying that in order to understand how the Chaitanyam is one, with Chaitanyam, Pramana Chaitanyam and Vishaya Chaitanyam becoming one is Pratyaksha Prama, is called as an experience. This knowledge we have to see. All right. So we will stand over here and meet tomorrow. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Om Shanta Shanta Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashyakatau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Om Shanta Shanta Shanti. Thank you all.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Thank you,
Hari Om.
Swamiji.
Mahadev.